Hi, thanks for watching. Today we're going to be talking about demystifying modes. Modes are a way of getting additional mileage in terms of tone colors out of the scales that you have learned. They have exotic names like Dorian, Phrygian, Locrian, and it sounds like really something very complicated, when really it's something quite simple. And today we're going to try to show you the easiest, fastest way to get these under your fingers so then you can begin to incorporate them into your own solos. First, let's talk about how to read the diagrams that'll be in our video today. The vertical lines in the diagram shown are your strings. The horizontal lines are the frets. The numbers shown in red are the fingers of your fretting hand. And off to the side, highlighted in yellow, there will be something indicating the position in which the mode will be played in. So like the example shown here shows that the second finger will be placed on the 8th fret for this particular one. Let's start with Ionian mode. Ionian mode is basically built on the first degree of a major scale, which makes it, for all intents and purposes, the major scale itself. A C major scale is a C Ionian mode. So if we were to play this one, looking at our diagram, we're going to start at the 8th fret with our second finger. So 8th fret, second finger on the 6th string. I will just call off the finger positions. I want you to picture a 4-fret box, and each finger is going to have a fret assigned to it. And some of these modes we have to shift a little bit, but we'll try to stay within the 4-fret box just for simplicity. So we start out from the 8th fret. We're going to, with our second finger, we're going to play 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Now, I'm going beyond the range of, we do about 2 octaves of a scale in there, and there's notes in there that we can use, and so I extended it all the way up to the D on the top here, which would be starting into another octave up. But since it's there underneath our fingers, that's where we're going to start. So Ionian, then practice it going down. Okay, that's Ionian mode. Dorian mode is built on the second degree of the scale. So if you're counting up a C scale, C is the first note, D is the second note. So what we're essentially going to do is play a C scale starting from D up to the next D. So that's going to put us on the 10th fret, first finger. We'll play 1, 3, 4, which would be frets 10, 12, and 13. 1, 3. Now there's a shift here for the next 2 strings. We're going to shift back up with our first finger to the 9th fret. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. Now we're going to shift back to the 10th fret. 1, 3, 4, and 1, 3, 4. Second degree of the scale, Dorian mode. Phrygian mode starts on the 3rd degree. So in our C scale, C, D, E would be the 3rd note in the sequence. So this is going to be a C scale played from E to E. If you are on an acoustic guitar, you realize that it's hard to get up here past the 12th fret, the 15th fret, because the body of the guitar just gets in the way. So we're going to do this with open strings down in the first position. These are I call them the Mel Bay notes. These are the notes that you learn when you start learning to read music. In every kind of method book there is, these will use open strings as well as fretted notes. So the zeros at the top indicate open strings. So we will play 0, 1, 3. That's E, F, G, right? Then 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 0, 1, 3, 0, 1, 3. Now remember, you can do these going backwards as well. Lydian is the mode that's built on the 4th degree of the C scale that we're working with. C, D, E, F. So we're going to play a C scale playing from F to an F. This one is probably the most uncomfortable fingering for me, I think. I have small hands. This one is a 5-fret spread. And so this one is, if you have big hands, it's going to lay out for you just fine. If you have smaller hands like I do, then this you have to get there by shifting your hands slightly, because you're going to play it on the first string, excuse me, the first fret of the 6th string. Your second finger is going to come up to the 3rd fret, and then the pinky is going to stretch up to the 5th fret. So that's frets 1, 3, and 5, but it's fingers 1, 2, and 4. So 1, 2, 4, that's my fingers. Then I'm going to switch 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. All right, go to the next one. Lydian is followed by the Mixolydian, which is the 5th degree of the scale. This one has an awkward pinky shift between the B to E string. The way the guitar is tuned in standard tuning makes this weird little skip here, because we have a major third between the open G string and the open B string. And so you have to do this little shifteroo there, and that makes this one, a little bit complicated. Until you get used to it, and then you may do like me, where I do 2 or 3 different ways depending on what I'm feeling like at the time. We're going to start at the 5th fret on a G note. So 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. So that's the next 2 strings. Now we're going to switch 1, 3, 4. Now here's where the shift happens. 2, 4, slide your 4th finger up 1. Then 1, 3. To me, that's the easiest thing, is just to shift that pinky one. I have seen, and sometimes I do this myself, sometimes when you're there, you're going to shift, rather than shift to this F, which is on the 6th fret, I've seen some people go play 2, 4, and they stretch all the way to the 1st fret for the F there. Same note, just an awkward reach if you have small hands. So you can go either way on that, however you want to do it. I just do the pinky shift. Aeolian mode is the same scale as the natural minor scale. You've heard of a natural minor scale? And that's the 6th degree of a C scale. That is also known as Aeolian mode. They are the same exact thing. This one has a position shift on the 3rd string, so we'll deal with that when we get there. So this one starts on the 5th fret on an A. So it's going to go 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. Here's where the shift is. Shift your 1st finger up to the 4th fret. So you're going to go out of position just for that 1 string. You're going to go 1, 2, 4, shift back, 1, 2, 4. Then the last string is 1, 3, 4. When you're practicing this one to get used to the shift, you notice that on the 3rd string it's 1, 2, 4. Then you shift back to the 5th fret, 1, 2, 4. But they're both 1, 2, 4 patterns. So just to get that comfortable under your hands, you may want to do something like play on the 3rd string 1, 2, 4. Just where you shift back and forth between them so that it feels kind of comfortable to you. Last of the modes, the one built on the 7th degree of the scale. This is built on the leading tone B, and this is called Locrian. A lot of metal musicians like Locrian mode because it is very geometric, very symmetrical in its shape. So it lays under your fingers in a nice 4-fret box. So if you're just going to shred, this one you can just cut loose on. So this one we're going to start on the 7th fret, on the note B. So it's going to go 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. So you see how that 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. That's a pretty easy visual pattern that's easy to kind of get under your fingers. Then the next string is 2, 4, then 1, 2, 4. So that's Locrian mode. Now, how do you practice these? Here's what I would recommend. What I did is I took a couple of chords, just a couple of variations of C. I took a C major chord, and then I added one finger in here on this D note to make a C major ninth chord. And what I did is I just went and just played a little pattern like that. So I took my phone and just used the little voice recorder app on here. This doesn't need to be high fidelity or anything. If you have that kind of equipment, that's fine. But we want to do something that's going to be simple and easy to use. And most everybody's going to have a phone. And most phones come with some kind of sound recorder app, or that you can download a free one. And so I just played that little chord progression there, 2 chords just based off of a C chord. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of play around and walk through the modes, and I recorded just a minute of audio. So I'll play a minute, I'll reset it, play it again, and I'm going to go through the modes. And what I want to listen for is the melodic contours and the flavors that are involved in that particular mode. And then find the places where the little sweet spots melodically that lay under your fingers very comfortably. So let's just try, we're going to start with Ionian mode, the one that's the basic C scale. Okay, 8th fret. So that's about 30 seconds of it. You saw how I just kind of played through, found some little sweet spots on the notes, and just kind of played around with it. Now let's go on to, let's see, that was Ionian. Okay, let's try Dorian. That's going to begin on the 10th fret on D. So just a few seconds of that. So you see it has a different flavor because we're the strong places where our fingers land are in different places in each mode. So there's certain things that just kind of feel good to play, and the strong notes are, as we play through the sequence of them, the chord tones are going to be in places where their different fingers will emphasize them, and that gives them a different tonality, and it gives them a different feel, kind of a different flavor. Okay, let's try Phrygian. So that's going to go to open strings in first position. I'm going to wind my sound recorder back a little bit and hit play. So that's the Phrygian. Let's go to Lydian. So that's going to be the one starting on the 1st fret on the F. That's the 5 fret spread one. This one I never like very much just because it's a wide reach for my hands, but we'll give it a try. Do you see? There's the Lydian. Again, a different flavor. Let's try a Mixolydian, which is going to begin on G. That's going to be 3rd fret. And I'll wind my little sound file back. There's that shift. You can do bends, hammer-ons, pull-offs with these to make them more expressive. Okay, we'll pause for a second. I'm going to wind back a little bit. Let's try Aeolian. That's the one that's going to begin on the 5th fret. So again, you can incorporate slides, slurs. You can put bends into it, however you want to do. Let's try that. Leaves us now Locrian. I think is our last one to go through. Locrian. This one starts on the 7th fret. Okay, so we just went through all the modes. How do you change key? First of all, spend enough time working on these C ones so that you will see the patterns, how they fit together. What you'll notice is that each of the modes locks in to the mode above and below it. Sort of like Tinker Toys, not Tinker Toys, what do you call them? Lego blocks. They kind of fit together. And you'll see where the top of one mode kind of tucks into the bottom of the mode that's right above it. And the bottom of that mode tucks into the top of the one below it. And you can stack them all up. And you can shift from one to another as you get used to playing them. Once you have all the modes memorized for the key of C and how they relate to each other, you have a kind of a feel of the patterns and how they work together. Then what you can do is to transpose up. Just go a key at a time. Try to transpose up to the key of D. In that case, your patterns will move up 2 frets. If you go up to, that's 1 whole step. If you go up to the key of E, that's 2 whole steps. So you're going to go 4 frets up. Remember that when you are playing, right, where your 12th fret is, that's sort of like the restart point, right? The E right here is an octave above the E string open. So the F here is an octave above this one. Anything that rolls off past the point where you can't reach it, it's going to reappear down on this end. So remember, that's your crossover point. If you have questions, comments, observations, please put them in the comments below. Hope that you find this useful. Hope this demystifies the way that the modes work. If you have questions or something else you'd like to see on this topic or other topics, let me know. Please like, subscribe, and share. That's your call to action, and we'll see you around. Thanks again for watching.